Welcome back to another episode of me keeping myself straight. It's a good job I do this, because in the process of going through my ratings, it turned out I hadn't published Steam Curator reviews for 4 of the games I reviewed. No points for my organisation this year. It's been another decent year for reviews, with a bit of spread across genres, a lot of places taken by student projects. The scores have generally been quite high, though there have been a few on that bang average layer of the spectrum. On the bottom rung at a 5 we have Spiders Everywhere, the good-looking platformer that unfortunately had one breakneck pace and one mechanic to break your neck at random moments that made the game a nightmare to handle. On the same layer was Sect Machina, again a decent looking game with nice art, but a lot of mechanics that fed into a purposeless hole, meaning you could skip a majority of the game content with little impact, and any exploration motive didn't actually gain you anything. On the other end of the spectrum at a 9 we have Try Again. A game, again with a couple of flaws, but that makes a great environment and commits to its theme to make the short experience as sweet as possible. It's not the biggest platformer in the world, and I did heavily debate where to put it between an 8.5 and a 9. To be honest now, I'm pretty on the fence. Looking at previous 9s, they have had flaws too, but they generally tend to have more content. My gut feeling is it's somewhere in between, but it does have good facets that take it above some of the 8.5s I rated. Another on the fence opinion I had was about Project Fire. It's a very good game for what it is, and I like the depth of story and content it offers for such a small item. Unfortunately, it's also a small item on my screen, and it has major lag issues. If the final puzzle segment was a little clearer and not laced with lag to the end of time, I think it could have bagged itself a 9, if not a 9.5. There were various other flaws in there, but the overall commitment and feel of the game was great, and the depth they went into with the mechanics and the backstory, the world building was all really good. I'd say out of all of the games I tried this year it was my favourite, though objectively it was undercut by some of the issues. But there were also a lot of other good bits and pieces in the games I played. Sunrise was a bit of a painful game to play, but I loved the abstract delivery of such a poignant experience that was so meaningful for the creator, and I have to acknowledge that pain was intentional with meaning, whilst also still being pain. Postmouse was another great one, a beautiful experience that also could have earned itself higher points had it not been for the horrendously angled chase sequence at the end that left a final feeling of slog to linger. There have been some interesting premises throughout the games, a lot of very good looking games, and a lot of fun games as well. Each had their own pros and cons, but overall were generally quite a good experience. The one game I will re-rate this year is Cave Crawler. Looking at the comparative scores, it is still a good game, but my gripes about the boss in the 5th level knock it down, and I did have a fair amount to comment on the use of the collectibles. I made similar points there as I did in Sect Machina, and because the game is so short it does cut it down a portion there as well. It's simple and still fun, but I feel that in competition with some of the other 8.5s it just doesn't have enough legs, so I'm going to drop it to an 8 out of 10. With the games and re-rates done, how about the channel itself? Well, it'll be business as usual in that sometimes I'll have to take breaks due to life getting in the way and not being able to upload the regular fortnightly schedule that I will try to maintain. I don't believe I have a watcher base that lies in wait for my releases, so I don't normally communicate if that will happen, but if I'm wrong about that I can drop a text post as a heads up if people would find that beneficial when I'm not going to release. Just let me know. And speaking of watcher base, thank you very much to all of those who've watched my videos, to those who've subscribed to the channel and interacted with my reviews. It's great to share my hobby, and as always I'm open to pointers and your opinions as well. I've tried to make some steps to iron out my audio quality, as I know some videos have the sound of my laptop blasting like a steam train in the background, but I'm happy for any other inputs as to delivery. There may be reasons why I do stuff that I can explain to you if you comment. But other than that, I am happy for feedback. I do not know everything. One thing I do enjoy about this whole thing is the creativity to be found in the indie world, and small developers often have new ideas with a lot of effort put into them. I respect that, and I often enjoy games where you can see a touch of the developer in them. Sometimes I wish I could do more to help shed light on fresh developers' works and help playtesting, but sadly I have more passion than time. Such is life. As I've said before though, if any of you as viewers know of any games you might like me to try, free to play on Steam of course, as with the theme, then please leave me a comment and let me know and I'll take a look at them. Oh, that's enough out of me. Thank you all, and I'll get back to a new year of reviewing.